Okay, evening everybody. Welcome to TFC Open Mic, Season 2, Episode 40. Bounty2, Bring It is what I titled this one because I couldn't think of anything more sensible. We have a plethora along the Open Mic panel tonight. So let me have a quick look who we've got then. I'll go from my left this time to my right. So I've got Brian. Hi, Brian.
Bounty2, come at me, bro.
Bounty2, you got to come at me with science, mate, because it'd be funny. Damnation, how you doing, mate?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, it's good, buddy. Good. George, good evening, bud.
Good evening, everybody. I'm just curious, was the other option started with an F instead of the B?
Something along those lines.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
F.A.
Howdy.
Hey, hey, Jepson. Hi, bud.
Yo.
Good. Mike's in. Hi, Mike.
Ciao.
Good evening, buddy. Peter, good on you, mate. Hiya.
I'm doing okay.
Good, mate. Good. Better than me. Oh, how you doing, mate?
Giga Maggies.
And Venom's in as well. Hey, bud.
Hey, 99s are joyous.
Yeah, I bet they are too. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, we're a full house already. That's not bad. Nick, you're gonna have to be quiet in chat. Okay, then. Just sort of like do some mental sort of like brainwave stuff, mate, and we'll pick up what you've got. So what else we got there? Mr. S is in chat as well. Tony Ashwin, evening, welcome, buddy. Obviously, my bro's there. Nobby Lang, he's there. Corey's in as well. Whoa, well, there's plenty more in there.
Nick,
So Nobby showed up.
if you want your mental waves to reach us, Nick, you're gonna have to take off the tinfoil hat. Doesn't work that way.
Rum Runner's in. Apparently, Rum Runner sucks. Oh no, he's just called himself that. But there we go. Right, no, life in general. He's probably talking about. But there's plenty of people in. Profs in. I can see. Yeah, no, there's loads of people there. So. Yeah, some people in chat as well as obviously on the panel. So, right, let's get to it, shall we? So, what have we had this week then? Let's go back, if you wouldn't mind. Let's go to Tech Up. That would be a good one to start with, I think, to be honest. On Blueprints. Should we start on Blueprints?
Escalation number 1 in the series.
Escalation number 1. Yeah. Yeah.
How many people are already refitting? I'm curious because I know I'm refitting already.
So, should we highlight the issue first, and then which we still don't have an answer to? In fact, first of all, I'm going to say shout out to Renato. Okay, then you're a star, mate, because you actually stopped the build, spent 104 coin to give me an answer on something that was really important, and Kixie haven't bothered and given us the courtesy in 24 hours to give us an update, which I'm pretty disgusted with. So at least give him his money back, because it took a player to give us an answer, and nobody else would. But hey, that's the way it is these days.
Yeah, look, you know what I don't understand is that after the first bounty, remember how we were like, hey, look, bounty's a cluster, and no one's on. How come you guys aren't communicating? And then on like Monday or Tuesday, they're like, well, we were on, and we really should have communicated. Well,
GDA said he was on all weekend. Yep.
Yeah. So here's the thing: if someone's on and we have these types of issues, because it's not like we bring, little dinky issues up. I mean, these are things that affect a good portion of the player community. Why can't you have somebody that's at least designated to go, okay, yeah, we're going to have to answer them, or someone's here to at least answer questions that are of a profounder nature than normal, right?
But not only that,
that makes sense.
But when one of the guys is actually on their own, round table group, puts out the hand of, hello guys, can you just cross my palm with some knowledge here, because the community's asking, and they flat out just ignore him. I'm stunned. But anyway, not to worry. Not to worry. So what do we do? So the initial thing obviously was they acknowledged that and they mentioned as well that the detail was wrong on the blueprint, and it said for turrets, and they were going to correct it and that sort of stuff. So they changed the detail for the countermeasure loader 4 to state that it then wouldn't work with turrets and it wouldn't work with depth charges. And then Brian and I sort of put our heads together and so what actually in this raid will it work with, and what was the point of bringing it on? Because in the blueprint it stated obviously that it's 25% reload. So the statement was contradicting 2, the stats, and 3, the first reiteration of the blueprint was incorrect, and it looked like now the second reiteration of the blueprint was incorrect, and in fact it still is. So whilst Ren did the video, and yes, it cost him money and that sort of stuff, and we've actually tested it, and I've watched it a few times, and I expect plenty of you have now, because we put the links in all over the place, including the BV page and obviously the crib, and the Brethren page, that sort of stuff, and Crow's Nest. Everybody's got it. But the point is, we don't know yet how they're going to fix it. Are they just going to redo the text and just put it back to where it should be? I.e. change the word for, just take out the word turret. That was the only issue. Not just simple copy and paste what was in, obviously, cat measure loader 3, which is basically see what's happened. So I don't know.
Which is strange because they like copy pasting because it's so lazy, but they can't even do that properly. So I think they had to try for a bit of a custom fix today.
Well, the worst. What's even worse though is that like we're left in the dark now because run blue money to find out and test, right? So the flavor text says one thing, the stat block says another. In testing, it works. So now everyone's like, okay, is it going to stay like this or are they changing it? Because, what happens if they change it now after it's already working? I mean, this is something you just can't leave out like this. It's bad. It's bad. It's a bad precedent to set in general.
Mm. Here.
It is. It's just another QA issue. That's what's bugged me. The quality assurance that's coming out at the moment. Let's just look at the portals. The portals are fixed. The portals are not fixed. The portals are fixed. The portals are not fixed. There's one particular reason it wasn't getting to Bounty because I knew it wouldn't be as smooth as it. I'm waiting for Bounty 3. I said I wouldn't do Bounty 2, and I'm not doing it. And I'm continuing to not to do it. I'm totally abstaining. And there's nothing that I want, to be honest. And by the time I finished building my first set of raid ships, I'm now just started the flagship for the Fangtooths, which is 28 days. So when am I going to build this other set of Conqueror hulls? Well, I can't, because I've also now got to build the Hunters as well. Because as was hinted, we're going to have 2 S targets. By the sounds of it.
And here's the thing too, right? The fact that they're doing 2 S targets and they're gearing each one to a specific hull or fleet, right? That kind of has changed the way that we have to look at these hulls, but no one's communicated that either. I mean, if it's not going to be, because we've always been, the skill hull is the top tier hull and the auto hull is the secondary hull, right? I mean, that's how it's been since Tideseeker and Hellwraith. And now it's, since the last raid anyway, it's like, well, wait a minute, apparently that's not what they mean anymore. Well, if that's changed, right,
yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, so we are literally 5 days away from the raid, and we really aren't 100% sure what to put on for specials.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're all mushrooms at this point, and the problem is, for the last several months, actually most of this year, we've been saying there's a communication problem, and instead of getting any better, it's getting worse.
It's all becoming interlinked. That's the problem, mate.
Yes.
The whole issue at the moment, and I don't want to be a downer because I'm not the downer normally of the community. I'm the positive guy that tries to look on the positive of everything or a balance of everything. Now, and there is some balance. I like the current target we've been spying. I've looked at the 60s several times. I've been out hitting them and that sort of stuff. I've been using them to get my uranium and that sort of stuff, and the 100s as well. I've been looking at those to get certain parts as well. So I'm getting quite well versed at the particular style of driving. Forget the target shape size, but driving my ships, I'm getting quite competent now, and I like the concept. It's great. What I don't like is then all of a sudden hearing that, well, maybe actually you're going to be a bit too good at this already. It hasn't even started yet. So what we're going to do, we introduce a 2-tier system where if there is another target that's going to come on, just like what happened last time, an escalation for the previous raid format, that the technical hull that you have to be skilled to drive will not actually be able to achieve one of the targets. Yeah. And the payout for it to get both targets, i.e. to have both fleets, is the only place you'll find a bonus.
Yep. I mean, that fundamental thing that you just said right there, where the skill or technical hull, right? That's supposed to be able to do the top crap if you can drive, right? And we're not seeing that now. That's a change after a year of it being the other way. Why don't we know? And what's kind of funny is it seems like, I mean, there are days that I think that there's like somebody that's bipolar working at Kickside, because on the one hand they're not telling us about this or the changes. There's an issue with the bounty stuff. There's this, all the stuff's on the table. No one's saying anything. And then on the other hand, we're like, oh hey, guess what? We know that you guys want this stuff in the stat block. We're going to add this, and on top of that, like they're investigating adding other stuff that we've requested. So, I don't get it.
Listen, I mean, it's as simple as, mate. Laredo can say what he likes in the chat. Laredo's in the chat saying, no, don't, you don't need to do that. Just build one fleet properly and enjoy the event. That's not the freaking point.
And there's also
you're missing the concept, mate. At the end of the day, you're getting a 1/5 bonus on points. I.e., there's an encouragement. There's a 1/5 assessment here to do 1/5 better than raid by having both fleets. So they're strongly encourage you to build basically to go the two fleet concept. It's got nothing to do with build one or the other. That's not the point. They're automatically stating the only bonus is going to be available by getting the two types of targets.
Yeah, and Rampage said something on the forums too of something along the lines that you're going to have the same experiences as other raids and stuff. And I'm like, I saw that and I'm like, now wait a minute, dude, I'm not having a good experience because I'm looking at all these crazy ass points, and then to get to those crazy ass points, you got to have the bonuses. And now it's like, okay, hold on. So to get a bonus, I have to have both fleets to hit both targets, so I can at least get more points per hour, right? Because that's what's going to come down to how much gold and how much time you got to spend.
Seat time. It's always seat time.
Seat time, gold, and everything. And that 100+ million minimum is just it's thrown everything out the window.
The thing is, there shouldn't be a bonus for completing the two. They need to just split those points down the middle and make 5 million points. And 5 points.
Yep.
Yeah, make it all 5 million points.
Alternatively,
that would solve the entire problem.
Right, or 6 and 5, because like the top tier hull should still be a top tier hull. Otherwise, why are we paying such a premium during raids for it?
Yeah, if it's going to be the same target with the same payout as the other hull, which is a shorter build time and looks like tons of fun. Then why would we build the skill hull? We can just build this other hull that they're giving us tokens for left, right, and center.
Because the auto hull is supposed to be able to do the same targets, but at an increased cost. But now it's like, oh well, you're getting tuned targets to these fleets, so that just throws out the entire concept out the window.
Okay, let me just have a listen. That's right. So Hefe, you were going to say something.
Well, I was just going to question whether we need as many points this time around, because they've made the charged armors accessible in other ways, and potentially they're going to drop the price from 10 million down to 8 in the upcoming raid. But
3 flagships.
Well, wait, didn't we already get one of them?
There's 3 flagships that was on the forum somewhere. Someone said 3 flagships.
Okay, I know that, but somebody said it on the forum doesn't really mean too much to me.
3 new ones, or is it just 3 flagships? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know if it's new. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what's in total because we've already got the Fang already, which I've just started. But and it's great. And I again, I will back up what the radio's just said there in chat. He's doing the same with me. He's focusing on one particular ship type at the moment. And I know I was talking to Liam about it. He's focusing on the hunters because he likes that type of driving style because he's got icebreakers for his FM. But the point is, if you're encouraging you to take another set of ships to build, and that's going to go into next month's, then the Bounty, for example, there's a nice ship out there to build. Well, you're not going to be able to build that. There's a Defender there, but you're not going to be able to build that because you're too busy building PvE. And actually, the Bounty event, which is turned into a PvE, is now a second raid for the second month.
Yep.
And it's just too much.
Do you want to talk about dock space too? Because of
we'll go on to that because that's another huge pipeline thing that's going to happen within the next 3 months. But yeah, okay,
it's already happening.
But I've had to delete. Yeah, I've deleted 25 ships in the last 2 months. But hey, I haven't kept any tier 5 stuff at all. It's all gone. But anyway, so anybody else got anything? Just raise your hand.
I mean, I'm really glad about the stat block. I was ecstatic to see that. That was a nice surprise, and the fact that they're thinking about doing more is good. Like all that information we should have had already. So I'm glad that they're doing that. That's a positive. That's a very, very. I mean, I don't want to discount it. That's a really big positive, especially when the game's gotten this complicated. It eases some of the decision making that you have to do, because then you can plan ahead better rather than having to build it, test it, and then adjust. Especially where shipyard time is at a premium. That's going to help everybody. that's trying to design this.
But then keep the QA piece correct, because if you are doing stat blocks and that sort of stuff, it's a chicken egg scenario. Have the stat block, but at least have the quality, the stuff that goes in there.
Yep.
So anyway, out of the panel here, how many people are doing? Let's just have a look. Brian, are you doing Bounty 2?
Nope.
Okay, Damnation.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 1-1. George.
Yeah, I opted in to test a couple of things. I'm just logging in and getting my 800.
You're somewhere in the middle, yeah. Hefe, what about you, mate? Hefe's having a beer, probably.
No, I'm not.
You're not.
I'm in Bounty Anonymous.
Okay. Jeff, what about you, mate?
No.
You're not doing it either. Okay. Mike?
No, sir.
You're not either. Peter?
Considering it. Not
Okay,
right now, but considering it.
Currently, no. Okay, then Hulsh, I know you are, definitely.
Yep.
And Venom definitely is, and of course he is, because I know he's Alliance. So there we go. But even then, so that's a fair...
Can I just make a point on that?
Yeah, of course, mate.
The only reason I am doing Bounty at this moment is because you can do it for instant repair on certain targets that spawn once a day. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, so it is, but not for the PvP side of it. You're doing it for the PvE side of it.
Well, why would you hit a base that all the top players are practically impossible to get into? There's no point in it. Just no point. Yeah.
So interestingly, okay, so we'll talk about Bounty 2 in a minute and the point system and how it's working, because I'm intrigued in that. So at the moment, we're sort of like split down the middle, and no one here is a low-level base, really, particularly. So we're all mid to high levels, but it's a 50-50, and of those four out of the individuals, I'm not doing either, actually, to be honest, but out of the four that said they are doing, actually only one of them is... one of them sort of like doing it out of interest. The other three are actually doing it to actually gain something suitable, so... that's a 1/3, and that's of people that are regular attenders on this show and regular players in the game. So it'd be interesting how that pans out. I know we've had some statistics put up on the page, but statistics are no good because they're only as good as the live in the second they've been put up. So it didn't look too good at the start. I mean, they will have their own metrics and it'll go. It went very well. I'm sure it did. Okay, but the proof of the pudding's in the eating, and it's all about money at the end of the day. So I'll be interested to see how much money they've made out of their investment of money going in to the money they've got coming out. We'll never find out, but that's not the point. We'll know because either Bounty will keep going, or like the last system they had, it'll just crash and die a death. But I mean, if they're going to keep with it, do it every other month. But it's not going to happen, is it?
I like quarterly better.
Yeah, quarterly is good. I feel like between the UI where the activate button's still on the bottom of your launching fleet screen, where you could accidentally opt in.
Nearly caught me out that one, and it did. Ren's furious. He got caught out on it.
That's what happened last time.
I feel like they're going to do a combination of that, plus not properly sorting their metrics to take. One, there's going to be a certain number of people who opt into Bounty on accident, and then there's going to be those people. I think will spend money over the weekend through things that are completely unrelated to Bounty. But because it was money spent during Bounty period by active Bounty players, I think Kicks is... pardon?
It'll skew the numbers.
Well, it would not skew the numbers if the metrics are properly delineated on Kix's end. If they didn't want to do something that is technically legal but a little shady, let's say, and just attribute all of that income to Bounty, where it's the guy just repairing his FM fleet once. Because he's in Bounty, that counts towards money made by Bounty, when really that's not even the case.
Right. I mean, the other thing when you said shady too is like that screen that pops up to repair your base every time you come back into your base. Man, I am not happy with that thing at all. I've almost clicked the wrong button twice. Yeah, trying to do your FM. I'm going out doing my FM. I'm banking my resources because I need them. And every time I come in, that stupid thing pops up where I'm waiting to hit something for my fleet instead. And I'm like, okay, this is pissing me off.
Do you know what? I understand it's very difficult to encourage people back to doing PvP when the PvP system in the middle is in the middle of a massive upgrade and that sort of stuff. And there's so much going on. And we've got if you're going to build it, we've got over a year's worth of real-time building to do, and it is a year's
don't
worth
be shady. Don't be shady. There's no need to be shady.
And even the players that like PvP, this isn't really PvP.
No.
I mean, I'm not even including the PvE aspect of it, which a lot of people that are participating in Bounty are using. But the bubble lengths, it's like burning bases, and it's a whole different thing because of very short bubbles and forcing you basically to have 2 patrol fleets, and it's very different than the normal experience as far as the one that most people have put their bases and guard fleets together as part of a strategy. It's different than that, and I think a lot of people aren't terribly happy with that aspect either.
I mean, if they want the PvP aspect to come back, then they have to make PvP fun in the game period first before they try and do something like this. But then, the other issue is trying to balance it is going to be really difficult because there's certain aspects of PvP that you kind of come to expect in the regular game, and then when you try and tweak it to make an event, it's going to make it difficult. Like it's going to take a while for them to balance this out, and the catch is how many resources they want to throw at this instead of fixing PvP in general first.
Well, it's funny they call this a PvP event, but I haven't really seen all that much base hitting going on. Everybody's out hitting the PvE targets. So I'm not sure why you would even try to pass it off as a PvP event.
Well, you can't. You really can't either. Because I went out with my prides. Because all I have is a pride fleet. I don't have anything good because I've been concentrating on PvE. And I hit a level 89, 90, something like that, real quick, just to see if I could get. It was like worth 60 bounty. It wasn't a big thing, but I'm like everybody else was like 114, 120, and I'm like they all have everything jacked up in their base. I go into this guy's base, and he already has the gun on the top of the OP. I lasted. I couldn't even get in the channel with my prides. The thing just destroyed him. So, how is that going to be fun to any, I do not think the vast majority of players have an updated, PvP fleet that is viable in any of these targets,
If you made a sloth fleet, just forget about the bus to start with. If you had a sloth fleet and you'd got one single rage that you could have made from using tokens, you'll be able to do A99 relatively fine. If you have Survivor, you can do it even better.
But the catch is the sloth was shit before they upgraded it, right? So no one had it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any. I had one blank, right? I had one blank. So you're either going to stop doing your PvE stuff or you're going to do your sloth. And I mean, again, how many players actually have any of this stuff?
But I get the point. So Venom's saying basically, if you happen to have
if you happen to have it, yeah.
If you happen to have a couple of ships, there is a way of doing it. I get that, because, and he's talking to top level target, so I sort of get it,
But again, if you want an event to be fun and you want the participation, it has to be kind of inclusive, don't you think? I mean, if it excludes the over 50% of the player base, what's the point?
Yeah, it's interesting because at this time in the game, and I really, really do not think they even gave this any thought at all, that we would be upgrading our OP10 stuff and wouldn't want our other buildings to have to repair and not build while we would keep getting smashed in theory. But not only that, but the OP10, which was said to be, hey, once you have this on your base, you're basically going to be fine against all Tier 6 Conquerors. And then they made the Sloth able to stop that because, one, nobody used the Sloth beforehand. Nobody. So everybody have to get their Sloth fleet out and ready. And then...
All right, but you're an outlier. I mean, it's not...
my gun's on. I just used 12-hour build speed ups from the FM, and I got it on Thursday night.
But look here. The biggest thing, I'm gonna steal both Mark and Mike's comments, right? Because my observations are the same as Mike's. The proof is in the pudding. People are hitting the PvE targets, not bases. I mean, that's just what everyone's seeing.
Yeah, well, it's a retaliation point as well, though, because people don't want their bases hit. Because they are, I mean, it's not just about, we got the Huggy shipyard and that sort of stuff, and it's a 42-day builder. But I'm not really interested in that, to be honest, apart from the fact I can't do any other things I want to do, i.e. upgrade turrets and that sort of, as in upgrade turrets, not adjust turrets, upgrade turrets. So you're mucking around with your base bubble. You were trying to. You need to have it set right before you even start that. But it's the other aspects of the game. There are several things that are going on at the same time here now. And if you happen to go to sleep overnight and those things don't fix, you've lost hours and hours. I know it's only a 3-day event, but it is bothering people. It is bothering people, and the fact that portals haven't been working properly, and the fact that a lot of these bases are, you almost don't need a base fleet in some of them because they're just that strong that no one can get in.
There's the other point of, as soon as someone, if you're offline, say you go to sleep, someone can do 25% in your base, wait
and
a
then
few
come
hours,
back.
then come back, and you're not going to bubble. They can come in and prep your guard as
Oh
much
yeah,
as they
got
want,
you.
Yep.
and it's just a very stupid way of
Yeah,
doing
that would make you a bit like the the TFC bases then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
No, I mean, that's
No,
people
it happened to me.
are doing it. I mean, I had one guy come in 4 times with gluts, and he wasn't even nice about it. He went and killed my dock that was on the other side of the base, and then tried to get in and lost 4 fleets. I'm like, thanks, buddy. That's awesome. I mean, you suck.
I won't do it again, George.
It was actually an Insector guy too, and his alliance leader was not happy.
Okay, that's halfway through. That's a Bounty. Okay, so Bounty.
I actually do have one good thing for Bounty, or at least a positive. I'll do the positive. When people started noticing that the bounty amounts weren't matching on the bases, the hotfix, that there was such a flurry of activity behind the scenes. Like, I wish everything was dealt like with that, but they actually did a pretty good job of finding it. They they found it pretty fast, and then it was just a matter of fixing it and getting the hotfix out. But I was kind of impressed, because that's one of those issues where it's like, usually like, oh, well, that doesn't benefit Kickside. I mean, it benefits Kickside, it doesn't benefit the players, and that's one of those things that usually lasts.
So what? This is their flagship event at the moment.
Yeah. So I mean, that's true too. But I mean, still, it was not something that I expected to be handled that quickly. So that was good.
Far more important than fixing their blueprint. Ready for the raid. But hey,
can I just make one last point on?
Yeah, of course you
can. If you look at my screen,
got your shit at me.
This level 99. If you see them, hit them. If you have rages or any half up to date fleet, try your best to get them, because that's your only sort of lifeline in this. And
for decent quality points,
for any decent points, it does 1,600 minimum, and most of the time you'll get either that or 3,200 points. So if they're out and you have at least a half decent fleet, and you don't want to spend a load of coins, just hit that.
Interestingly, I mean, I'm not doing obviously, as you've heard, I'm not doing the bounty. So just click on the, if you already started, what is the prize, what does it cost then to get the top hull? What is the cost of it? What do they settle on in the end?
A lot.
Was it 30, something like that?
Hold on, it's 37
37.5, I think.
Okay.
37,120.
Okay, so Venom, out of interest, mate, is there a way without hitting bases that you think you could achieve to get 37, 38?
If you have a
because they said it wasn't possible, you would never be able to do it. So do you think it is?
Is it possible to do what, sorry?
Is it possible to reach the target of 37k for that hull by not stealing bounty from somebody else's live base and actually just doing it on these PvE targets?
These PvP targets are the only way possible that you will ever get that ship. If you hit straight up bases, you're never going to get it. Never.
Which is completely 180 to what they actually intended.
Yeah. You can get, I got the first day something like 23k or something like that. And I came in halfway after the spawn had started. So in one night, if you're on when the 99 starts spawning all the way through to the end, you can have enough points to have the ships. I've only been here for 30 minutes doing the 99, so I've went from 30k to 40k.
Mm-hmm. Impressive.
Is there any other combination that people that don't have sloths could use in that target, or is it just one of those things that you just happen to have?
Some people have been using the rages, so they just run the rages in. They'll take damage, but
just thrashing them in there, yeah.
Yeah, You'll take damage, but it's not going to be anywhere close to what a base will take you, and you're getting much more points. You're not like I'm doing 1 survivor and a sloth fleet, instant repair, and that's minimum of 1,600 points. Yeah, I'll do that all day.
And even though it says in some of the bases that they're worth 7,000 bounty points.
If you see a base that's worth 7,000 points, don't even bother.
Because clearly, obviously, it's a crazy base.
Yeah, people have been trying my base most of the weekend and yesterday, and yeah, just don't bother. Even though it says what 6,000 or 7,000 points, just don't bother. Just wait for a 99 to spawn. You'll save yourself.
That's a tease, isn't it? It's a tease, basically.
Yeah.
There's one.
The top bases, not even the top bases. Anyone with decent epic apocalypse morts and a decent setup, you're going to struggle. Yeah. You really are. It's just not worth it. Just 99, much easier, much faster, a lot less searching.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they are, but obviously, yeah. Again, I mean, I can see that. I mean, you have now got the fleet that's textbook the right fleet for this at the moment, because the splash is crazy, as we all know, with the bus and that sort of stuff. It's ideal, and it's almost made for it now. And yeah, you can snipe the corner even from there, which is crazy, isn't it? But
absolutely insane.
And that's a barely built bus as well. I just put 3 weapons on it. That was it.
Just a spotter, pretty much.
But then again, even if I've got the blueprint, I've got that blueprint. It was 60. It was 60, wasn't it? Get it and that stuff.
Yep.
But I haven't built it.
Me too.
Because I'm still busy building my freaking subs. So I can build that now if I wanted to. I've got the, and I could. And the sloths weren't fast, so weren't slow to build as such. And I could put together some sloths as well, and I could have that fleet out probably if I could have it in one click, couldn't I? To be honest, But the point is, it's a hell of an investment. And by the time you know as well as I know, by the time some of these bases are going to get up and they're going to have 5 or 6 of the new turrets in and 5 or 6 of the new countermeasures and that sort of stuff, it'll be a wasted effort.
Yeah,
it would have had its day. My play and dabble in the PvP was the rages, and they were great fun. Half the shelf life I thought they were going to be. I knew they'd be short, but by God,
even the bus was short life. Most of the bases now you just don't even bother.
And, I mean, rages now for me are now a mega ship support fleet. That's all they are.
So hey, while we're still on this, before we get off of it, I'm kind of curious for people that are and are not in the bounty. What are you guys' opinions of the prizes? Because clearly not everyone's going to get that twin blade. So if you're just going in and banking your stuff, or you're hitting just a couple of bases, or you start late and you just work on banking and hitting a couple 99s, what do you guys think would be good choices?
I like the missile. I like the missile a lot.
I mean, the turret might be nice, but I mean, it depends on if the dot effect works as it should. And
yeah, I'm intrigued at that, I must admit. Now courage is great fun, isn't it? That sort of stuff. I've built that. I've got a couple of those. The turret looks interesting, but we're not sure what's coming around the corner yet, so it may be a short life on that. And there's a lot of, there's a lot of holes that are really, really, really strong against that sort of damage type as it is.
Yeah, I mean, I like both the missile and the special, and the turret is just. I'm just really curious because, the initial damage is low, and it's a multi-shot weapon, but the dot damage is high, but we don't know we don't know the projectile speed. We don't know how it's gonna.
So you're gonna have to have them coming down. It's going to have to be very, as ever. It's part of PvP and it's base building, and it's it doesn't need to be scripted. But you just if you're taking that prize, because it does look funky and that sort of stuff, and then yes, I can see but the range, and then you've got to put ATR on if you want to get it a bit further, and there's lots of. There's lots of decisions to make with those sort of things, I'm surprised that new turrets are coming out with such a short range now. Bear in mind that the bus can outrange it straight away, and so can some other things as well. We've got 112, so we've got that sort of stuff. So I thought it'd be at least 120 or something, but it's not. It'd be quite good to start on top of a portal maybe with the new draconian gate in it or something like that.
Do any of you guys notice that the gap in the price for the prizes kind of just seems a little bit odd too, because like you're like, hey, you can get 5, 10, 15 thousand, you're gonna get a whole bunch of stuff, but then it's like, okay, hold on, the next one, like the big one's like 37 something, and then to get that plus all the other ones, it just seems a little weirdly set up to me.
I don't even know why it's 37,000 points. Or yeah, I just don't get the pricing point for that. It's not anywhere near as. It's not as good as they think it's going to be.
No, agreed.
Put it that way.
According to GDA, it was a very specific number.
Well, I thought it was done as a mechanic, so that basically, no matter how many of these 99s you hit, you wouldn't be able to hit enough at the end of the thing by hitting these. You wouldn't be able to get that hull.
No, it's quite the opposite. It really is. You're not getting it unless you hit the 99s, straight out, just all week.
Oh, so unless you're good at what is basically PvE, you're not going to do well in a PvP. Well, you need a PvP fleet, but
yeah, PvP fleet for PvE. I mean, it's just
that's just like a TLC then. Yeah, a really long one.
Yeah.
A really long one that you can only hit a specific target at a specific time.
Which have no spawn times. The 99s have a spawn time, do they?
I asked Rampage if there was a spawn time for it, and he said that they're not giving out a spawn time for it. It just appear randomly.
Yeah,
it's a not. Yes, it means you just got to sit your ass in a chair and stay awake all weekend.
Yeah, saying that, some people have noticed that it will spawn at certain times, and from what I've been hearing, there's a possibility that they will spawn twice tomorrow, I think it is. Tomorrow, UK time.
So far, the most popular time is 2 p.m. Kickside time.
Yep.
Interesting.
There's one about lunchtime, Kickside time, and one that started about maybe 30 to 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That's the time.
Yeah, the first one today was at 9 a.m. Kickside time.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, let's jump from that subject because we're well into 40 minutes now and that sort of stuff. So we're going to move on and we're going to talk about raid. Okay, so the question I just posed in the chat there for the guys is basically, I have to sling back up a little bit. Just slide back up. So what have you got for the raid? Raid's in 5 days' time, that sort of stuff. What in general are people using? Myself personally, I've just finished my 4th fully built Fangtooth. Now, most of that was done with, in fact, 99% of it was done with, Brennan just got a jackpot. Well done, mate. Cool. Let me have a quick look. So he did. Hey. Well done. Nice, mate. Good. Live on the show as well. We like that. Woohoo! 6K bonus.
Lucky.
First time I've seen that from anyone.
Somebody go with his base quick, or try.
And there was much rejoicing.
There was. Well done, buddy. Now you're going to get the hull. So for me, I've got the 4 fangs, which I did speed up, I have to say, to go and get them ranked, which I also sped up as well. But everything else has been in slow time, so it's taken me the whole rest of this time to get them ready. And I've just gone forward to put a really light build, but heavily defendable flagship build out as well, which will. I'm not sure how many. It'd be interesting. This will be the first raid with a new concept of. Now that Huggies shipyard's out, that they're going to reduce the number of ship build tokens. So I'm interested to see what we're going to get in this raid for ship build tokens. Well, I am hoping, I think my build, because it's really light, is 14 days. So I've got all this week. I'm away next weekend till Sunday evening. So if I can crack on Sunday evening and get the rest of it through ship build tokens, it might be able to be finished in time. But if not, I have to wait till the following raid. So that's me. Brian, what about you, mate? What are you doing?
I've got 3 kind of mostly complete fangs. Mm-hmm. They've got 1 set of charged armor each, and they don't have the advanced torpedo tubes. I'm currently building the flagship right now, and I'm going to wait on putting on a lot of weapons and leave a special slot open because, I mean, we know that they like to introduce escalation, and I don't want to have to put weapons on only to take them off and have the last raid be tuned for the escalation stuff, even though they said they weren't going to do that. They turned right around and did that. So trying to not get caught.
Escalation is something that really angered me so much.
Last time as well, yeah.
It was more specifically, they brought out the tokens for Fangtooth, and then the next day they brought out the tech up, which
The
has
tech up, yes,
items
yes.
that you would want to put on your Fangtus.
So you've already spent them on doing something else, and then the tech up turns up.
And Kixeye support say if you do try, that you will not get any tokens back. You did it yourself, and it's up to you to fix the problem.
In other words, coin the problem.
Yes.
Coin your way out of it.
Read the whip.
Yeah.
What whip?
Oh, he's a comedian tonight.
If anyone has any salt, you can give it to me now.
Hang on, I got
it.
some.
We got our own.
Right here. Here you go, buddy.
Yeah, I have a salt shaker right here.
We're good. Damnation, what about you, mate? What are you going with?
I'll have 3 fangs and a phantom, pretty much all done. The only thing they'll all be missing 2 armor pieces, but other than that, they'll be done. All
right, okay, that's you're in a good position there. Well, to be honest, I mean, don't get into the misconstrued with the fact that you've seen some targets. It doesn't mean it's. I'd like to think it was going to be the S target, the 100 that we've seen out there, but it may not be. It may not be. You know what it's like sometimes, or it may be, and they just might crank them up a little bit, and we don't know yet. So, but yeah, I think if escalation is going to be a thing, I think that's a good percentage to start with. I must admit. George, what about you, mate?
I am going to have very close to a full fleet of fangs. I won't have armor on. I'll only have like 1 plate of each of armor on them. But yeah, I got very upset when I had to start refitting. So I just like every time a good token deal came up in the store, I bought it, and that's what I've been doing. I think one of them is going to be light on weapons and like 2 specials, but for the most part, it's going to be almost a complete fleet. I should be able to get it done in the first couple of days of raid anyway, if we get tokens.
Okay, that's right. And Heavy, just remind us again, what is it? Where are you at? I remember you did say.
I should have my Fang complete, and I'll probably get my 3rd normal, or I'll have my Phantom complete, and then I'll probably, during the raid, I'll probably finish my 3rd normal one.
All right,
so
cool.
I'll have a fleet of 4.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be nice. So be starting off probably a little bit slower, or maybe on the lower targets, but then maybe able to crank up to the good stuff with a bit. I mean, it will come with experience. These sort of things, particularly in this type of raid, it's all about repetition, muscle memory, and that sort of stuff. And I find I mean, it's not going to be quite as cutthroat as the previous Hellray format, but because you're not going to like make one tragic mistake and the whole fleet's going to go. But I've already noted that this week, as I've been able to hit 40 or 50 targets, I must admit, just 3 or 4 a day and that sort of stuff, that I am getting better and better at knowing when to turn, where to turn, and the speed of my ships based against their speed. So I'm getting much better at it now, and brought my damage level down to a much more acceptable level on the current things that we're seeing anyway. Cool. Jeff, what about you, mate?
I'll have 3 fully built and ranked hunters plus a hunter that's 72% with an engine and armor.
Good. Someone's going hunters. I'm really interested to see how the hunters are going to do. I'm genuinely interested, as are a couple of people. So, any particular reason you went that way? You just prefer that type of fleet?
I hate subs.
You hate subs. Yeah, do you know what? And there are plenty of people that do. And not just the case. Some people love subs, but they just don't have the connection speed and the patience for it either, sort of stuff. Well, they don't mind doing some sub work. Yeah, and a lot of people don't mind doing sub work on the, 1 target a week, and then they can drive fine. But the repetition of doing target after target after target is just too much.
And these are subs in name only, though.
Yeah, you're right. Actually. Yeah. They're just, yes, I agree.
Well,
and yes, they do chuck.
You still have to have them fully repaired, though.
Thank you, George.
Yeah, thanks for that, mate. I'm not docking them. That's the thing. I don't care. Unless they're completely dead, they aren't getting docked.
Ren wants on, but I want to do something real quick about advanced torpedo tube. Hefe, you ready?
Sure.
Ready enough. Yeah. So the Fangtooth has a base torpedo damage buff of 150%, just the hull. And that's fine, that's what we've seen before. And if you add advanced torpedo tubes, what you used to see was 220%, 150 plus 70. That's fine. That's what it used to be. And then we were told that the display was wrong, that the damage numbers were off, and that what you were seeing behind the scenes was that the torpedo tubes are doing better. but you couldn't see it in the stats. And now, if you have advanced torpedo tubes on a Fangtooth and you go in, you will see 325% torpedo damage. And what we initially thought last night when it was first noticed was that you have 150 and then you have the 70 for 220, and then you have the 70% buff on the 150%, which is 105. 220 plus 105 is 225. But then Hefe did some checking on the Harlock's Alpha Behemoth with Polonium Accelerator. Go ahead.
Yeah, we found out it was simply additive, where you take the base of the hull, and this is only for weapon type specifics. You know, the hull has to be weapon type specific, not damage type, and the special has to be weapon type specific, and also does not include UAVs. But it's simply additive. It's the hull plus the special plus the magic number of 105, and then you end up with damage. Yes.
Yeah.
I think I was simple enough about this, right, Brian?
Yeah, nothing's very simple. The first time it was there,
it's simple. It's just completely odd that they've thrown this number of 105 at us. That really it shows application to the Fangtooth with the advanced torpedo tubes, but the 105 just seemed to drop out of the sky when you look at the Harlock's Alpha and the which is the radium, which is the one that adds 30%.
Polonium Accelerator.
Polonium Accelerator. Yeah, the 105 just appeared to, you know, somebody walked down with a tablet from up high and had the number 105 on it, and that's how we ended up with that number.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna get out, so because other people want it. So goodbye.
Okay.
Okay, mate. Let's just see. Sorry, Gazumpton.
I hope we were clear enough on that one.
Yeah, we'll clarify and again, but because it's a huge thing, it's not even just a small thing. It's
sounds like
lazy.
a lazy thing, but
it's a lazy programming thing. Yeah, exactly. But George gets it as well. So we'll talk a bit about it. Hey, Ren, how you doing, mate?
Yeah!
Oh, for crying
He
out loud.
whispered.
Somebody's been drinking.
Well, okay then.
Hi, honey. Hi.
Hi.
Where's your camera pointing at, mate? Was it...
What just happened?
Who let the Hulk in?
Turned down at the ground.
Thanks, Brian.
I don't know what you're smiling about, unless you got your 104 coin back.
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
did not get my point back, but at least I don't have to riff it because it freaking works, and I was right.
It works at the moment. It certainly does.
Now, yeah. That's what I'm afraid of.
Oh.
For now.
So
Nah, they had the intern copy and paste from CML3. Because the guy had copied and pasted from that turret special for countermeasure 4, right?
Oh yeah, but back to that. No, I get that, mate. But clearly Q&A picked that up and it didn't get released, so that was fine.
Yeah, but CML4 has concussive reload bonus. It also has countermeasure reload bonus. So on any ship that's a countermeasure tank, it's a great addition because now your countermeasures will reload even faster.
Yeah, I mean, I was very fortunate because I did actually run out and look at my run across, look at my ships, and actually, I've still got 2 specials to add, and one of those I didn't actually because I've been waiting to put the Fang flagship together and that sort of stuff, which like I said, it's getting there now. But yeah, so I was going to go extra concussive, you know, the 10% upgrade, but I won't. I'll get them. Hopefully, we'll get them to confirm it formally. And then I've got 3 slots available for 3 of the ships to have load of 4 on, which would be great because the other one's got something to put the fire pools out, and the other one's got an extra bit of detection, so I can see the blitzing ones coming at me. So, but yeah, we're good, I think. So, and I will publicly say thanks to Ren for stopping his build, making the adjustment, spending some coin, and actually getting what could have been a disastrous situation and turning it around in quick succession. So thanks, buddy. That was...
Yeah, no, and there's still people, just 5 minutes ago, still people on the page asking, after all, does it work or doesn't, right?
Well,
right now
it does.
And the blueprint says it, I mean, the stat block says it does. It's the description that's wrong, you know. So
Yeah, and I update the top bit. I mean, I can see what they're saying. I think what they're saying is they're nervous that they might go the wrong way. I mean, God forbid, there'd probably be war if they did that. To be honest, in a battle game. Hey, but
get official confirmation from any game designer that the concussive reload and the countermeasure reload are there on purpose, but they're there, right? So removing them from the stat block now would be nerfing the print, and we all know Kickside never did that before.
No, of course not, mate. Of course not. That's good. So interestingly, Jeff has just said that he's gone down the Hunter Avenue for his raid, and he's got some ships. So he's the only person that we've got as far as that's going in that direction, apart from Liam, who more than likely will, to be honest. But I just got as far as Mike. So what about you, buddy? Where are you at?
I do have a semi-full fleet of Fangs.
Right.
Short a little bit of charge. And
got a bit of charge on you, yeah?
A little bit. I'm short a little bit.
Okay.
And how much? I'm hoping they're going to have some in there. And then I'm blanking out some hunters.
You're blanking out hunters already, are you?
I'm blanking them out. Yeah, I'm blanking. Well, I did buy the deeply discounted tokens when they had them.
Oh, check you out. Okay, you're sneaky, you are. You keep quiet under the radar, don't you? I know you are.
Just being honest.
No, that's good. No, mate. Hey, it's your life, your money. You do what you like, mate. So, Peter, what about you, mate? What are you doing?
I'm doing Fangs.
Okay, good. Anything funky on them, or just the sort of normal stuff we've been seeing?
Actually, believe it or not, I'm going with hydraulic resistors over Magnus Drive.
Yeah, that's mine. I mean, I'm more of a slower sort of because I've got the flagship, and actually I've already stacked up. I think it is 20 of the 10% sub speed at ones as well, because they give you extra accuracy as well, and they're so easy to roll. So I've gone for them. They're not as fast and that sort of stuff, but do you know what?
Silent Hunters were pretty much my go-to for the last sub raid. So
Well, do you know the only reason I did it was because when I looked at the flagship for the Hellwraith, it actually ends up with the same combat speed, and I thought that's a pretty lazy way to start things off. But
I went with mainly for the extra torpedo damage.
Yes, of course, yeah. But hey, do you know what? And I get that a lot of people are sticking with obviously the Magnus 3, and it's great. I just hope people don't end up exploring. I mean, we don't know because the raid's not come live, the first one yet, and we don't know what the load on the servers will be and that sort of stuff. I'm just hoping there is a bit of a buff. There's about a measure of 5 for the inner ring and the start of Dread. So you have got a bit of buff this time as opposed to Hellwraith. So I'm hoping that's enough to placate a lot of people and not have the problem that we had last time. But we'll see.
And with 5 subs as well, each sub, the Dread, adds 1 second flat to enemies reload. So when you have a full fleet of 5, you're saying enemies will come in the Dread, they'll fire the first round, and the next round will only come over 5 seconds later. By then they should be dead with 5 subs firing at them.
Or at least you can freaking turn and understand what you've done if you've got lag sort of stuff and make a bit of adjustment. Yeah. So
I was just going to say, if the best technique, if you ever get caught like in range of one of the enemies, I wouldn't try to run from them. After they fire the first round at you, just go at them.
Yeah.
Because now you put them in the Dread and they will not fire for 5 seconds.
And kill off the right sub as well, the ones that the blitzing subs, and then the ones with the thorns as well. But watch thorns, obviously, because obviously you're going to get guaranteed damage. I mean, I'm sure everybody understands thorns. I just tried to explain someone today on the page about thorns. In fact, George, I shared your article, the one you did a while back on, for the base defense hull. But
explained it in that form.
Yeah, I think so, mate. Because a lot of people, obviously, this is the first time we've seen a Thorn ship, that's in or sub, but in a raid format, and its rotational on-off cycle is actually quite short. I was quite surprised.
So, which sub is it that has the thorns? Because I really didn't notice it.
It's the one that flashes the little shield.
The one without the radar.
Oh, okay. So like the mini stonefish looking thing.
It's kind of inconsistent too, because I was testing it and it just seems it was very inconsistent.
It's the electric eel. It has some sort of timer on and off. So when you see the little shield flag on above the ship, the thorns are on, and I think the ship slows down. Actually.
It slows, yeah.
And then when you see that it picks up speed again, that's when you should go in and hit it, because then the shield is not active. But you gotta hit and turn back, just like we used to do Apollos against the Mega Hull in the raid, where you go in, fire the scatter gun, and make a U-turn and get out of range before it fires at you. You should do the same with electric eel. Just go in, fire. It fires real fast, so fire a couple rounds, get out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I noticed as well is you go in, you fire, you come back out, and even when the thorns comes on, because you're out of range, it doesn't seem to do the damage. I don't know if I'm right or not, but if you're inside your target range, then you are definitely getting thorns damage. But if you fire enough, like I say, with 5 ships, you'll just kill it really quick because it isn't that powerful. As it hasn't got much defense, but it makes it mess.
4 fangs fully ranked on the flagship, you'll kill it fast enough that you won't get hit by thorns. You just have to kill all the ships and just let it spin in circles until you get the pattern right.
But it just seems Mr. Average is going to have approximately 3 ships, so you might have to nip in once and then wait and then nip back out again. But the cycle seems to be about every 4 to 6 seconds. I've been trying to work it out on the hundreds. I was also trying to work out whether it's the same on the hundreds, the cycling time, as it is on a 60 as well, and I haven't quite worked that out yet. It doesn't seem like it. I can't work out whether it's every 6 seconds or whether it's a 4 to 6 second. I'm not sure.
Just from the YouTube chat that I'm monitoring, somebody said that the thorns are just another damage type, and just to clarify, it's another way of dealing damage, but it's not another damage type. It's explosive.
No. Well, the only thorns that we've seen so far has been ballistic, but it has complete pass-through, so it really doesn't matter what damage type it is.
Yeah, the thorns in our Justice are, but I remember, where's is Venom here? Yeah, he's here, right?
Yep.
When Venom did that demonstration with the charged axe,
we saw it, didn't we?
I saw some other videos as well. So when the thorns hit you, it's the explosive charged armor that gets you.
It shouldn't, but it's supposed to pass through all of that. It's not even supposed to.
And then it was something else, but I saw the explosive getting defeated.
Yep, I saw the explosive going down as well.
I have a feeling that every damage or every weapon in the target that we've seen, at least so far, does explosive damage as well as concussive.
So you think they all have 2 damage types?
They do both damage types from what I've seen.
But the concussive doesn't go down anywhere near as quick, does it?
What we noticed in the after show was that the concussive has a lot higher values on it. So if anyone wants, I'll look it up here in a second.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone 3x now, I must admit, and 1 concussive on my charge.
If you look at the charged armor, the X has explosive damage reduction 1,678, but the concussive has concussive damage reduction of 32,000.
Yeah.
So it's much higher. So you're not going to see your concussive go down that much, but you'll definitely see the explosive drop a lot.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so Ren, you're happy with your build, aren't you? You're now a.
I am. I mean, I'm putting CML 4 on 3 ships. 1 ship's gonna have the sonic targeting instead, and the other ship's gonna have cryo battery instead.
Yeah. Cryo battery. Yeah, that's basically the same sort of thing for myself. I was running the armor between, I mean, and I'm not now because if you manage to get 4 ships on with countermeasure load 4 on it, then obviously clearly that's like having a spare sub almost. There's a 25% reload. It's like having a 6th sub, but clearly you need some other things. And I think detections, particularly for me, because I'm using obviously hydraulic resistors and my subs are just that little bit slower. But I want to be able to see those blitzing ones coming in. Oh, they do travel in a straight line, so I've already got the habit of, as soon as I kill the sub, I veer off left or veer off right. So I'm not getting caught by those things now, so I'm quite content. Because most things in all target types, as once they blitz, they tend to go in a straight line. So.
Now, anyone here going into raid with a fleet of hunters? I don't know anyone who by now has.
Jeff's got not full fleet, but he's got. What did you say, mate? You had 3?
3 full and one shell with just armor and engine and rank.
Okay, yeah, but you're gonna run all 4 to get the buffs, right?
Right.
As best you can. Even if the 4th one's light on weapons, mate, put your specials so it matches and your engines so it matches, and try and match your armor. because the bonus you're going to get from that fourth one is going to make it, even though it doesn't have the weapons on it, it's going to make it so much better.
It makes the whole fleet stronger, yeah.
Right, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, cool, mate. Cool.
Can I just say, someone...
It's over 4 days just to put one of each armor and Magnus 3 on it anyway.
Wow.
Someone in my last sector said that the uranium targets that are out at the moment, I think it's the 50s or 60s, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing LEM for instant repair with the new ship. With that,
Sorry, new ship, you mean the Hunter?
Yeah, the Hunter.
All right.
Yeah, I ran 3 hunters in 60. I was getting 8 minutes of damage.
In which level, mate?
In the 60 uranium ones, I ran 3 hunters, and we were getting 8 minutes of damage.
Okay. Across the whole fleet, yeah?
Yeah.
That's okay, isn't it? So it's a fixed back in base job then, that's all right.
Yep.
Okay, and Holsh, I take it you're going Fangs, are you?
Yeah, I've got 5. I'll have 5 things, not fully armored, but they'll be. I still haven't completely decided on the last special slot for them though.
Okay.
Which I'll probably do sonar, and I forgot about the Cairo battery completely, so I might put that one on too.
Yeah, I put cryo on the 1, just in case it gets. I'm just thinking of escalation later on. If I end up putting up more things that are going to cause more fire fields and that sort of stuff, I don't want to get in that situation like we've had in the previous raid, where fire seems to be doing an awful lot of damage to your fleet, So that was the only reason. So a bit of detection, a bit of cryo, and the rest of it then all full power, as much power as I can get. Very similar to Ren's, to be honest. Very similar.
Yeah, I've got just 1 hunter complete, but that's it.
Wow, you're definitely ahead of us.
Well, I got lucky and got 2 4-day build tokens from that prize pack.
Yes, thingy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 4, 2, 1, and 1, and 1 again. That's what I got.
I've not actually looked what my total is. I forgot to look. I'll log in now.
Yeah, I got 4, 1, 1, and 4.
Yeah, guys in chat, how many hunter tokens, if you managed to finish the whole campaign, how many hunter tokens did you get on average? If you can just look at your top figures, let's see if we can get an average.
Because you got 1 from the last prize pack before mastery, and then you could run mastery 4 times and get. So I think you could get 5 chests in total, right?
Yes.
I thought it was 4.
I thought there was one before mastery.
It was 5 because I got 4 4 2 1 1.
Yeah, so I got 4 2 1 1 1.
Yeah, I've only done 1 mastery round of hunter games, and I have. Let me see here.
Yeah, I don't like this whole random thing, to be honest. I mean, everybody puts in the same effort, everyone takes the same damage, so to speak. But then some people can get out to 20 days of tokens, some people can get out to 5. I mean, if you think about the 2 extreme cases.
Yeah, I have 7 1-day Hunter Mark 1 build tokens. Don't know if I'm going to use them, though.
You're not sure you're going to stick with your subs, mate?
Yeah, for now at least.
I mean, we have now the bonus for having both fleets, right? So
yeah. So I've just noticed I've got 13 total now. I've got 13, so I must have got So must have got 12 in the actual second thing. So in general, then just looking down through the chat, someone got 15 days in total. Somebody got 1 1 1 and 2. Wow, that's a bummer. That stinks.
I only got 7.
Terrible. Yeah, 4 4 1. 4 1 1 4 from Corey there. Darren didn't do so well either. He's got 2 2 2 1. DJ got 9 in total. Danny said got 10 9. I mean, apart from the silent killer who got a horrible figure there, everybody else seems to be around between about 9 and 15. So that's like not completing a whole round, isn't it, Ren? To be honest, that's not right. I know they say it's random, but
no, it's not right. I don't think it's right. Absolutely, I don't. It's like the fact some people can get out with 5, 6, 7. Some people can get out with 16, 17, 20 for the same effort in the game. I mean, I know a lot of games will give random things, but usually the random loot is just like skins. It's cosmetic stuff. It's not stuff that actually makes a difference in your gameplay, where now somebody may have 1 ship completed with tokens or not even that, and some people can have pretty much, 2 complete ships or 4 mostly built ships, whatever.
Venom, I take it your fangs, mate, aren't you? Are you all done?
I have the 4 fangs and the flagship with all the specials and all the weapons, but only 2 have armor.
Okay, mate. Yeah.
I won't have the armor in the rest of them. Too much.
Okay, dokie. Yeah, I mean, I've gone.
Somebody said in the chat if they wanted to play lottery, they wouldn't do it here. I agree. I mean, if I wanted to play lottery, I go to 7-Eleven, right, and just get a scratchy.
Yeah. No, yeah, you probably have. Yeah, it does seem, I have to say, very random, and it just seems odd that the first TLC we've seen that happen, isn't it? Not seen that sort of situation before. I mean, the randomness of tech up.
That one and the tech up was pretty random too. I mean,
but at least tech up, you're guaranteed to get 1 of 9. You know.
Well, the FM is also random.
Yeah, I get that, but yeah, no, it's true because you get random build tokens, don't you? Yeah.
But tech up, I mean, now we have some people who got Speed System 6 or didn't get Speed System 6, or got CML4 or didn't get CML. People who did in theory all the same, like the first 6 packs were easy, the last 3 were not.
Yeah. I mean, I only managed to get to 6, and that was with a struggle as well. I had to use several pinches because my fleet to get in that level isn't good, and I couldn't get Speed System 6 and I couldn't get Magnus 3, so I've resorted back on that one there to your build basically, but with Magnus 2 and thrusters, so slightly annoying, but.
And I had a problem. I have a pending ticket with Kickside. They didn't reply to it yet because I did all 9 and I recorded them. Right, that's my luck. I recorded doing them to do the video, and the last prize I got on Prize Pack 9 was Speed System 6, and now I went to equip that on a ship, and it says I don't have it.
Oh, interesting.
And I saw someone else on the page saying the same thing, that they did and they got awarded, and then they went to use the blueprint and it wasn't there.
Was it the same blueprint or was it something different?
I don't remember, but someone else on TFC posted the same thing. And then I went to check, and I wanted to put Speed 6 on all my Skyfires now with the tokens.
Yeah.
I don't have it, even though I did all 9 packs.
Oh, that's interesting.
And someone in chat is talking about the chest. I opened the chest.
Yeah, no, I made sure I just made. I got some of the chest. In fact, that brings us on quite nicely to chests and Skyfire tokens. That we'll move on then to the Skyfire TLC. And George sort of started that off that basically he was saying that that while the first ones are a couple of different, and I know it goes up in difficulty, but the last round is particularly difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's made even worse because every time I get past number 3, it lags like crazy, and I lost an entire fleet in number 6 because it went one way and the line was showing that it was supposed to go the other way. I was not amused.
Yeah, frustrating.
Yep. I tried to tough it out and do the entire thing with my Zealous, but man, those Zoes are getting past duality and I don't even know if the duality was firing against those Zoe missiles. It was insane, and the damage they did were crazy. So I lost the fleet there. Actually lost the Zealous, and then I tried with the Gridiron that I had, and lost the fleet trying to do it because I was going to use the icebreakers to take out the cold snaps and the edges there.
Yeah.
And so I got 28 hours of repair because lag. I mean, that sucks.
Yeah, and I did pack 3. I actually finished the video. I got to upload the video, but I did pack 3, all with icebreakers. I was surprised that the icebreakers were even able to do level 7, which was the elite target in raid. And I finished the whole pack 3 with icebreakers. And they don't even have charged M. They only have charged X. And I had like 8 hours of repair, so I repaired overnight. And if I want to do pack 4 now, I can.
All right.
And I suggest people actually try to use, if they have icebreakers, go rush the first levels with icebreakers, because I heard of a few people timing out.
I did that on a previous TLC as well, where was it icebreakers? No, I can't, it could have been icebreakers. Yeah, I did. I think I used icebreakers on the first 3 or 4 levels, or to level 5, and then finished off with another fleet sort of stuff. I think it was icebreakers. Anyway, I can't remember what it was, but a rush fleet, yeah, same sort of concept, just to give myself plenty of time for the ones at the end.
See, I had a very different experience in that campaign than everybody else apparently, because I found it fairly easy. Because I did 1 through 7 with my 2 ballistic Zeloses that I do my FM with every week. And they took hardly any damage at all on the 1 through 7 campaign. And then I just went in and wiped up the 8th one with my icebreakers, and they took maybe a third to half damage, I think.
Mm-hmm. Have you got charge on your Zealous's, mate? I take it they got full of charge armor.
I got one panel of each charged on them.
Yeah.
So they're not like loaded down or anything.
Interesting. I know that the Canon Zealouses are very good at the 113s. I know that. I've seen quite a few videos on, well, not quite a few, but I've seen a few videos on that. And
yeah, actually, just a couple of them. Like you don't need a full feature. A couple of Zealous with cannons can do the 113 like pretty easy.
With the right countermeasures, yeah, and the right specials, they're pretty good, aren't they? To be honest, I must admit.
Yeah, I only run 2, and my fleet only consists of 2 of those Zeloses, and then it has each one has 3 tridents on to deal with the cold snaps, and then a couple countermeasures, and the rest is a mixture of quake and hammer cannons, and it does it very, very well in that campaign.
Good, interesting. Right, right, we've gone past the hour. We're still. Heck, there's a lot of people still viewing. Okay, let's have a look along the lines. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about? Damnation, you got anything extra you want to bring up?
No, I think I'm good. Thanks for asking, though.
That's good. George, any separate subjects?
I don't think we covered most of them. I mean, I'm just hoping that they start turning some of this around.
Yeah, I hope so. Heffy, I'm going to leave it for a second because I want you to close on something in a minute, if you wouldn't mind. Jeff, you got anything particular, mate?
No.
Good. That's all right. I like this way. Mike, yourself?
No, I'm okay, thanks.
Good. Excellent. Peter?
I have only one thing to say. Does the Twin Blade have full authority?
For?
Anyone who's played Red Alert 3 will know what I'm referencing.
Mate, if it does, it'll change. Red Alert 3, man, that's going back a bit, isn't it? Flipping neck. Good old game.
2008.
Good old game. Okay. Yep. Venom, what about you, mate?
Too much to do, not enough time or coin.
Oh god, yeah, far too much to do. That's my main thing for going out of Bounty. I'm not doing it because I've just got too much to get on with it. Ren, yourself, mate.
I'm all good, man. I think, as usual, Kickside just going a bit crazy on some of the TLCs and the Bounty. I'm pissed that I joined by accident on that button in dock. It's weird because I tested on another account, and like if you click the proper button to join on the top left, it has a confirmation screen. So you've got to click a second button to be in. If you click the button in the dock, you're in.
It doesn't need to be in the dock, does it? There's a button on the top left. It's fine. Just have that one button. You don't need one on your dock. I don't see that.
Or if you're going to keep the button in the dock, fine, but then have the confirmation screen as you have from the proper way, just so people say, "Oops, no, that was an accident." And no, you're in. Hello.
When the normal one comes back, though, the bottom right is where you normally go launch. At least put it on the bottom left next time or something. I know it's done on purpose. It's a trap. There's no doubt about it.
It's a dirty trick that, I think they've already eroded enough goodwill from all players that they don't need to pull more dirty tricks, and that one bothers the crap out of me.
Rum runners
in. Then they can go and say Bounty was a success. We had a lot of people joining, and how many of those joined by accident, like dumb me here?
Somebody said earlier on that the figures at the moment are about 2,000 people are doing it.
No, because I have.
There's more, but a lot of people with 0 points.
No, because I had.
Nobody got 0 points. I mean, join, you get 500.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I checked earlier, and I had. I'm actually kind of pissed right now because I joined when I checked earlier. I had like 9,000 something. I was at 3,100. I hit 299s and I got 3,000 and then 6,000. I didn't get credit for the 6,000, which I'm writing a ticket right now for, but I'm at 12,000 right now and I'm at 1971. So
I don't know how. I mean, how do you explain that?
No idea.
Yeah, but look, 0, 0, 0, 0.
But 0 means you didn't join, right?
No, that means you did.
No, it means that you didn't.
You
Someone
don't have
tested.
any bounty.
Yeah, no, hold on, because I think Hefe actually had someone on his show that explained it, or he had someone that had 0.
Mike was.
I
asking
have 0
people,
and I didn't join.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike was asking people that had 0, and they're like, "No, I haven't joined. I'm not part of it." Because if you lose 30% each time, how do you ever get down to 0?
Yeah, it's
You
impossible.
never get to 0, exactly.
But there's far more than 92 people in our sector, so that means it should be up to 100 people, shouldn't it?
But it's something that happens that they put some people who didn't join on the leaderboard at 0 and some they don't. I don't know how it works. I'm just saying anybody with 0 didn't actually join.
Okay, that's good because that's why I'm on 0 then. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes
just
sense.
just go to the map and look for the icon next to the base, and it's not there. And I got in touch with one of them personally and asked him, and he said, no, I did not join.
I think I figured out what it is, because to
And
be
you
on
see
the
whoever's sharing the
leaderboard.
screen there, somebody with 0, that they don't have a bounty icon next to the base. Sorry, George.
Right. But I think I figured that out. It's if you had joined in bounty last time, right? You have a seasonal bounty total. You haven't joined this time. You have to have a 0.
That would make sense.
Because I just was thinking about it before I popped off. But anyway,
That
other than
makes
that,
sense.
have a good night, guys.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good one. No, that makes sense.
Take care, George.
Yeah, cheers, George. Right, Rum, how are you, mate? Sorry.
Good, no problem. Just checking in.
Yeah, no, it's good, mate. We can do a bit of an after mic if you want to, that sort of stuff. We'll keep it going. I'll pop it up in the chat and that sort of stuff. Just before we finish, though, Hefe, let's just go back to that situation with the calculations that we were talking about. So you were doing some stuff with Brian. Basically, you were looking about the adjustments that have been made, and you made a discovery, basically, yeah?
Yeah, originally we thought that it all deals with. Have you noticed this at all, Ren?
What?
As it deals with the combination of weapon damage bonuses. Are you familiar with that at all? One example would be the advanced torpedo tubes paired with the fang tooth. The second example would be the Harlock's Alpha mixed with, I think it's the polonium accelerator, which both have thrower damage. Thrower damage on the hull, thrower damage on the special, torpedo damage on the hull, torpedo damage on the special. It's additive, but it's a weird kind of additive. You would take, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but you take the numbers from the hull. In the example, the fang tooth would be, you would take that plus the advanced torpedo tubes. You add those two numbers together, then you add 105. Yeah. And then if you do the alpha, and then you add, I think that's the polonium accelerator, you add those two together, the numbers are very different. So it's not like you're multiplying a percentage of one versus another. It's just a straight adding of 105 to it. This does not apply to UAVs. And hopefully they will fix this or clarify it in some ways, because it's additive, but just throwing in like an extra constant of 105. It's not like we've done math before in the game.
Wow. Yeah, it may be something weird, some weird coding like they have in the turrets, because the turrets are supposed to be additive, but then it works like an onion, right? It adds up all the specials, then applies the bonus. Now it gets the transformer and applies multiplicatively on the new base. And so it's kind of like things that are one of a kind, same of a kind, it adds, then applies. Then the next category of source of bonus, if it's a different source, then it's multiplicative. It's kind of an onion model, as I call it. All the specials add, multiply. Tech mod, add, multiply. Transformer, it's only one, multiply. So it's a mix of both. It's weird.
But it's that would actually make more sense. But if you take a look, I wasn't sort of prepared for this because I don't have the game up. But I think it's 70 and 30 for the Harlock Alpha and the special that goes with it. And then it's 150 and 70 for the Fang and its special. But they both have this constant of 105. So it's not derived from the two variables that we've seen. It's just the straight addition of 105. And it does not apply to UAVs either. which is
Okay, Hefe, just let me bump in here real quick. You're saying that if I go look at a Harlock's Alpha with those specials, that the range is going to be 105, or what?
No. What I'm saying is the damage bonus, by adding a weapon time damage bonus with the Harlock Alpha, it's thrower damage. So if you add the thrower damage from the Hall, which I think is, I don't know, I don't have the game in front of me. I think it's 70 plus 30. I mean, my numbers might be slightly off, but to get the final numbers, you need to add just the number 105 to both of these examples. And as opposed to, I think it's 150 and 70. So it's not like they're playing together in some way where you're taking a percentage of one and adding it to another and then adding something back. There's a constant that's been introduced.
Well, I'm trying to bring it up in the shipyard so I can see what it is.
Okay.
Well, we're not sure what it is.
No, I mean, we know what the results are. We don't know if they're true. We don't know if this actually impacts the game or it's a graphical thing.
It's one of those famous a display bug only. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, but we don't know. And it might have been in the game the whole time. And now that they've updated a few things, now we can figure it out. But again, it doesn't apply to UAVs. So until we get some word back from Kickside that this is the way it actually works, because they've obviously gone in there and made some changes, because the torpedo damage on my Fang-2s jumped by 105 after the last update.
I'm just having a look at mine now.
It always puzzles me that they have two different pieces of code doing the calculation. They have one piece of code calculating what goes in the display and another one calculating stuff in the battle server. And so they are totally disconnected. So in reality, we've got to hope in most cases it's all right, but in reality, we never know.
Yeah, because I talked to GDA a couple of weeks ago about this issue, because I brought it up because I assumed it was just straight additive. And because this all started with the advanced concussive system, or whatever it is, and how the advanced torpedo tubes were functioning.
It's the imbalance
better.
between the two, wasn't it? Yeah, the way calculation was done. Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's become very confusing. It's not the normal Kickside math that people already don't like. This is something new. I mean, I guess in the
So what are you saying the thrower damage numbers should be if you were to look at it in ship stats out of the shipyard?
Well, again, it should just be what we assumed and what we normally assume with Kickside math. You would just add thrower damage to thrower damage, and just simple addition.
My thrower damage on the polonium accelerator says 30%.
Okay, and on the Harlock Alpha,
that's what I was going to go look at. That's why I was trying to figure out where you were going.
Okay.
So I can look at the limited. If I look at the blueprint for limited, wish I didn't do that.
Yeah, the thrower damage in my Harlock Alpha Behemoth is 205%, plus 205%.
That's what mine is. That's why I was trying to see what the limited base was.
Yeah, so it's 70 plus 30 equals 205.
Well, the thrower damage for the Harlock Alpha is 75% flat, isn't it? With nothing on it at all.
I thought it was 70. Wasn't it 70 plus 30?
It's 75.
75.
Okay.
I'm looking at the blueprint now.
Yeah, thrower damage is 75, and the damage from the polonium is 30, so that's 105.
Okay, and it gets
comes out at
205?
So it's adding 100.
It's adding 100, but it adds 105. Okay, so maybe it's even something different, because if you take a look at the Fangtooth, you're starting off with 150, and then you're adding 70. And you're ending up with 325.
So it looks like it adds 100 to the Harlocks and 105 to the Fangtooths.
Yeah, I took pictures of this stuff earlier and shared them with Brian, and we both came up with, let me look at my old pictures. That might be...
This needs a bit more work, doesn't it? We need to find out what's going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I get
Keep
205. Oh yeah,
Don't forget
75 plus. Yeah. Yeah, but it's a new thing. I mean, it's basically I don't understand the math on how they're making this work, and they have changed it.
Okay, well, we'll need to do some more work on that, definitely between us and that sort of stuff. So I'm sure that'll happen, and it's probably something I expect that George will also probably do something on the blog, so everybody's got it. But it definitely needs more work. But we need to confirm some numbers as well, which isn't very helpful, particularly at the moment, seeing as Kickstarter isn't talking to anybody from whatever avenue we're trying to talk to them. So anyway, that's the way it goes sometimes at weekends. Ren, if you wouldn't mind, mate, are you going to do... I've seen your OP10... Say again, mate.
He dropped.
Oh, he dropped, and that's a shame, because I was going to say, Ren's just done a really good OP10 video 1, video 2. I'm not sure if he's going to do an OP10 baseball calculator video, but if not, I'll do one, that stuff, because I did one before, but it's now a bit out of date and that sort of stuff, so... he probably will. I've left Ren to do all the videos at the moment, to be honest, because he makes a good job of them. So why not? But I think we probably could do a new base bubble calculator video, which would be good. So we'll see how it goes. Brian's back. Hey, bud, you're right.
Yep.
Good. So, like I said, we will do an after show. And those that want to come in. If you can't get in because it's already full, then hey, that's the way it is sometimes. Be early is what I can say. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your bounty weekend for those that are doing it. And bear in mind, we'll be ready for the raid. The update hopefully will come on Tuesday. I don't know. I won't be here on Tuesday, by the way. I'm out of the country. I'm going over to Europe mainland, so I'm not back till Sunday evening. So my raid's going to be frantic on Monday. I can tell you that.
With Columbus Day on the Monday, I imagine the update's going to be postponed until Wednesday.
You have some crazy bank holidays.
It's I don't know why it's a holiday, but it is. So, well, I know why it's a holiday, but
it's an excuse to have a holiday.
Yeah,
I mean, in certain states and certain locations, there's a lot of boycotting that holiday.
And anyway, look, the school that I go to, you still go to class that day, but the public library that I work at, you have off that day. I don't know how it works, but they'll take any excuse they can to push it back to Wednesday. So probably Wednesday.
They had a migraine last week, so that moved it a day. Somebody was
no, that was you were never told about it until an hour after the release was supposed to happen.
Yeah, I've been sussed out already. I'm coming back Sunday night. I'm going to hit one of the blitz targets. I'm going to go click, 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 and then my raid's over. But hey, that's my intent already. Oh dear. Right, I've been had already. Right, okay. Sometimes I get down for minimum damage, that is. If not, I'll do 2 targets. Right. Have a great weekend, all, and we will definitely speak to you hopefully Tuesday or Wednesday, based on when obviously the update comes out. Take care. Bye, everybody.